Hey guys, it's Ted Bogert. Welcome back to the Ted Show. I'm a little bit different digs today to film, but that doesn't matter. We've got beauty and grace and intelligence and all sorts of class with me today. It's Tina Valiant. We're here to talk about the upcoming relationship real estate workshop that's going on November 16th and 17th, which is just next week. Excited for all of that. Welcome back, Tina. How are you today?
I'm fantastic. How are you, Ted?
I am also fantastic. It's Friday, and Fridays are always good. It's Veterans Day, so thanks to everyone who has served our country and our veterans. We appreciate that so much. And we also have NAR, which is in our backyard for those real estate people. So crazy weekend, crazy day, but it's always exciting to have you on the show. And we're here to talk about next week's relationship real estate workshop. But before we do that, let's learn a little bit about you for those people who might be living under a rock who don't know who Tina Valiant is.
Well, I live in Arizona. I have a real estate team in Arizona. I like to always throw out there I have two daughters, 23 and 25, raised them mostly as a single mom, and dove into real estate in Arizona. I've had my license 21 years plus, started in Orlando, timeshare sales, then went off to do foreclosure defense with attorneys for 10 years. And most people in Orlando know me as a short sale negotiator. I helped over 1,000 families either save or get rid of their homes during that time through my relationships with real estate agents. And when I moved to Arizona, I just kind of packed up, sold everything, shipped my clothes to my parents, and said, okay, well, I'm here now. What am I going to do? Tried a couple different things for a little while and then decided I'm going to stick with real estate. So I dove in, didn't have a savings or anything, and had to sell something within 6 weeks or I was going to be homeless. And lo and behold, made my first sale doing exactly what I teach now, and went on to sell 42 homes my first year,
It's
and
amazing.
then started a team.
I mean, I think that a lot of people I love the origin story because it there's a lot of people out there who want to follow a dream that might be, let's talk about real estate, of course, that's what we're talking about now, but that might want to get into real estate, that might want to be a realtor. And I love that when you share your stories like that, I think it motivates people, it inspires people because there's a lot of souls out there kind of searching for what they want to do. And I think that real estate for a lot of people has become transactional, and the entire workshop, the entire you have just made this into a huge, big workshop, relationship real estate. And I think the key word there, of course, is relationship. So why did you decide to build this workshop out to really make this available for other people who are in our industry?
My heart is other people's success. And I get asked that question all the time, and I have to explain. I started a real estate team, and I had such success my first year, not knowing anybody in Arizona and just kind of diving in. But it was a lot of work, obviously, but I had great success with that. And what I realized was realtors were coming to me, and they didn't have sales training. They didn't know how to be a closer. They were getting constant compliance and they couldn't get over that hump. And I hear stories all the time where agents are like, I do open houses and I don't get any real leads. I sit there and I talk to people, but they won't give me their information. On to people getting leads on the phone and not being able to close them. And it was a continued problem that I saw. So I developed training steps based on my background because all sales corporations have the steps to the sale. And realtors didn't have that, and it totally perplexed me. So I started building it for my team to help them get to where they wanted to be. They had such success the first year, Ted, that they won award after award after award. And most of them were new licensees. They didn't know really much about anything in the industry. So we took them from the ground level and built them up into these rock stars. And it was phenomenal to see that growth. So I was like, wow, there's something to this. And this is something that the real estate world is lacking. And who am I if I don't share that with other agents and help all agents, no matter what brokerage, no matter what their background, to figure out how to be actually successful in this business and stop spinning their wheels?
I think a lot of us have been in that place where we spin our wheels, we continue to do the same thing, and we don't see results, but we expect results. And I think a lot of people got into the business in the last couple of years as well and have been very transactional oriented. They've been order takers, and that's lenders and realtors and pretty much everybody surrounding our industry. Relationships really are about the long game. Relationships are
Yes.
about building. So, talk about the workshop. It's 2 days, which I love an immersive kind of workshop. I'm very excited to learn from you because I think a lot of people are hungry for that right now. A lot of people are wondering why their pipelines have dried up. And
Yes.
relationships, to me, of course, are the number one thing, always have been in my business. So tell us what we can expect in those 2 days.
The first day is the 16 steps to real estate success. I've shared on your show actually the first 5 steps in the past. And that really starts with open houses because, guys, right now your phones are not ringing. I don't care if you're buying realtor.com leads or whatever you're doing. I have a lot of coaching clients right now that are paying a lot of money for leads and they're just not getting them. So why not start to build your business organically again? And some of us have forgotten how to do that, and it's time to really sharpen those skills. So I teach from open houses all the way to closing a property. But what's interesting is because I teach the psychology behind the sale all the way through, words to use, words to avoid, how to really funnel your buyers and sellers down to a yes all the way through the process. Experienced agents take a lot from this workshop as well. Things that they maybe are doing, but they couldn't put their finger on why they were doing them. Now they have that understanding of a conscious successful in their tool belt so that if it dries up, they can go back to the basics and start over again and rebuild again. And then the second day is really, really fun for me. I dive into personality profiling, mirroring and matching, closing sequences, overcoming objections. There's even a segment in that day where they can throw objections at me. They get to record, and I will overcome those objections on stage. Nothing is scripted throughout this entire workshop. It is all bullet pointed, but not scripted. And so it's really led by audience participation and questions that are asked, which stories I tell, how I relate to what everybody's going through in the room. So it's really energy draining for me because I have to be quick on my feet the whole time. But I
Don't you
also have
know?
to entertain in the room because let's face it, realtors have a very small attention, right? They lose attention very, very easily. I can honestly tell you without a doubt that when you're in my workshop, you don't have a need to look at the clock or look at the phone because I keep you enthralled the entire time. I need to entertain you to keep your attention. And then we finish up the second day with my listing presentation made simple, which I just taught at a couple of places in Orlando about a month and a half ago. Those rooms were filled. I have a 96.6% closing ratio on my listing presentation, and I teach you how to funnel down the client. So there's really no way to go for them except to say yes to you. And that's how I finish it.
What I think, I've seen you obviously speak many times. You've been on the show. I recently you did a Mastering the Open House workshop here in Orlando, and I was part of that. And what I loved was the engagement. I think a lot of speakers, a lot of experts get up and they bore people to tears. A lot of the things are all about them, 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 without engaging the audience and kind of finding out where their good spots are and bad spots are, and how they can rectify those and maybe correct those and bring some new things into their routine. And you do all of that. You address all of the issues. You have an answer. I've not seen you not have an answer. That's not a challenge, but I have not seen you not have an answer when people ask questions. And I think right now, I said it earlier, people are hungry for this kind of interactive workshop because they are struggling. Even top agents I've worked with for years are struggling. They are not getting the listings as easily as they thought, and buyers they're afraid of because the interest rate scares them. There's all sorts of things going on, and so it's analysis paralysis out there in our world.
Sure, sure. And it's really time to accept what is in our market and learn how to maneuver through it. As a matter of fact, I'm going to announce this now. This is probably my last in-person relationship real estate workshop for quite a while. We're actually launching a new workshop in 2023, Maneuvering in a Distressed Market. That will be a one-day workshop. This workshop is actually going to being an online purchase of a class after this event.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah,
I love how you're building your brand as well. And we can talk a little bit about that if you don't mind, because it's one
sure.
thing to be a realtor, it's one thing to have an idea, want to give back. And you've just continued to move up this chain of developing your brand, but also giving back. And that's been evolving along the way as well. You didn't mention that you're a best-selling author. You have a lot, you have your hands in a lot of places, and they're all about giving back to the industry, to people, feeding into people. Where does that come from?
I had people that helped me along the way. And if I wouldn't have had mentors and coaches and people help me, I wouldn't be where I am today. But I think that my biggest thing is I grew up with a single mom most of my life until, well, really till I was 12. I was a single mom myself, and there was a struggle. And I just want to ease people's pain. I don't want them to struggle and have to try to figure it out themselves like I had to a lot of the time. I want to be that source that can empower them to truly reach their goals and not give up. That's my true passion.
I love it. So
Yeah.
I'll say it, I think you're a hero to a lot of people. And I love that word. It has so many meanings, has a big meaning today on Veterans Day. But when I say the word hero to you, Tina, who's the first person who comes to mind?
My mom,
Tell me why.
because she sacrificed so much to make sure that we had what we needed. And it wasn't easy for her. And I write about her in my first book, Finding Your Voice, and that was really, really difficult for her because my childhood was not easy. It was very tumultuous. And she did the best that she could. And she had to read that book two or three times before she would give me permission because it's partly her story too. And she still allowed me to share it. And that particular book, Finding Your Voice, has touched so many lives and helped people heal. And it was only because she allowed me to share that.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. So, details. First of all, we're going to put a QR code in the comments below because you are watching the show and you guys are loyal viewers and supporters of the TED Show. You can just click on that QR code, not click. I'm old, so you don't click. You put your camera up on the QR code, and that will give you a discount off ticket price, which is really sweet of you. And we're very grateful here at the TED Show
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
that. Tell them the best way they can find out how to get tickets, other than the QR code, how they can find
Sure.
out more about your books and about what you do and your presentations and your business.
Sure. So I make this workshop very affordable for agents because I understand that, you have a lot of costs. You're doing the best you can right now. So the workshop is normally $99. That's it for 2 days. I don't really make a profit off of that. By the way, that goes out to my staff and everybody else. That's not my purpose. With watching the show today, it's a $24 or $25 discount. So it's only $74 for you for a 2-day full workshop to really build your business. You can find me at tinavaliant.com. You can also go on to Eventbrite if you don't want to use the QR code, and Eventbrite has it for the $99. And you can also reach me. You can reach me at tina@tinavaliant.com. You can also call me if you have questions, 602-644-0591. Don't be surprised when I actually answer my phone.
Amen to that. She answers the phone, y'all. I know that is such a foreign concept right now in our world, but
Yes,
it should be coming back. We should all be answering our phone, especially
yes,
in this market. But in the long haul, you 100% want to do that. Tina, thank you so
yes.
much. It's always an honor to spend time with you. I'm excited for next week, November 16th and 17th, y'all. Just take your camera out, put it on the QR code, get your discount, and show up. You will leave there really inspired and motivated, and have a lot of tools, new tools in your toolbox to kind of maneuver through this market. And so you're a blessing to me. Thank you, Tina, for being on the show.
Thank you, Ted, for having me, as always.
All right. We'll see you guys November 16th and 17th. Look at that QR code in the comments. Get there. I'll be there. Tina's going to entertain us the entire time. You heard her. I can't wait.